GunninGamerz here, back for some Air Hauler 2 action. It has been forever since we've done any flying. Actually, I'm not even in Microsoft Flight Simulator anymore, and that's the reason why we've had such a long break over the last few months, both on our YouTube with the flight stuff and as well as our live streaming over on Twitch. I haven't been into the flying as I've been waiting for Prepared, which is made by Lockheed Martin, to be fully supported by all the third-party add-on companies. And long story short, we're sitting here in the end of August and most everything except for some of my A2A Warbirds have been supported now in Lockheed Martin's Prepared version 4. So that's what we're going to be looking in today. This is a pro version, and all of our flight sim from here on out is going to be done in Lockheed Martin Prepared version 4. So this is a lot better simulator just for the fact that it is 64-bit and it's so much smoother. I don't have all the crashing, the graphics, the lighting, everything is a lot better. With all that aside, we are sitting here in the A2A T6 Texan, but we're going to be flying this today from Lake Tahoe, which is Nevada, California, right there on the border. We're sitting at Lake Tahoe. We're going to be flying it out to Redding, California. Now, a lot has happened since we last showed any air hauler on YouTube. Again, those of you that follow us along on our Twitch will pretty much recognize most everything we've been up to. I think the last time I did a video for air hauler was back in like December, close to the beginning of the year, and we only had a few aircraft. I've got quite a few aircraft now, and we've done some pretty awesome things. Like back in May, we did the 14-hour flight from California to Hawaii in the B-17, which is, again, is not supported over here in version 4 yet, or in Prepared. But we've been doing some amazing things in here, and all of it's been done on Twitch. So as far as the YouTube series, there's going to be like a pretty big jump as far as what we've got going on. I'm only in North America right now. We are working our Comanche up to Alaska to get a base going up there. But as you see, we had the Texan purchased in Kingman. I took my test on a live stream about a week or two ago, and we are going to be basically taking up to Redding. So last week we took off from Kingman and we flew up here to Lake Tahoe on a live stream. We're going to be finishing that flight today, and I've got everything set. Basically, we've got enough fuel. I've loaded up, 60 gallons in each tank, which is more than enough. Probably whole trip's gonna cost us about $1,000 in fuel, maybe a little bit more. And one thing I want to throw out there too is if you guys ever have any questions with air hauler, what it is, what we're doing with it, all the features, and why this is preferred over, in my opinion, FS Economy, this adds a ton more features. Come over and hang out with us on our Twitch channel, and I'm always more than happy to go through and show you guys anything. I want to try to keep the YouTube videos a little bit shorter, so we'll just go ahead and get clicked in here and type in our KRDD. There's Redding, and it's going to be 144 nautical miles, which is not too bad. Probably take us about an hour, hour and a half. And we've got our fuel already purchased on there, so we are ready to go ahead and fly. Okay, well, now that we've got our air hauler set up, we are back into the cockpit of the aircraft. We're going to remove our oil clean kit that's hanging on the front, and it's going to hopefully dump the oil back in. And it looks like it's filling that up. They actually simulate the time that it would take you. We're a little bit low on oil, just 87%. That's not too bad. We do have our fuel at 60 gallons in both tanks. I could have filled it all the way, but I just kept a little bit of weight out of there. We are 6,500 feet or so off the ground, so need a little bit more lift there. We've got our pilot with the real life weight at 193, so we got that sorted out. And everything is looking really good. And we've also got Join FS going. You heard a little blurb there. Joining in next to me is King Brexit. He also live streams. He's one of our community members, and he's going to be flying the A2A Comanche alongside me today, and we'll hear him in just a bit. Okay, we check in with our mechanic, who, by the way, is following us in a King Air. If you notice that on the air hauler. And that's kind of simulates, him dragging along all my parts and oil or anything I might need. But we've got everything sorted out here. The mechanic is happy. Everything's running smooth. And we're going to pull up our checklist here. If we go into page 2 here, they're going to tell us that we need to turn the blade 9 times. And that's the first thing you do. That's going to circulate the oil. So probably should have done that before we got into the aircraft. Another thing we should do too is, of course, remove our pitot cover, tie downs, wheel chocks. There is no way to walk around this aircraft, so probably the best way to do it is right here. And of course, we'll do our control lock while we're up in here. I think we're good on the hand propping. That would be done outside the aircraft, of course. Flaps are up, so that's the first thing we're going to look down here and make sure that that's in the up position. Fuel selectors, desired tank. So we're going to flip over to left. I do left wing. I don't think it matters on the Texan, but like the P51, you have to do left starting out, so I just do the same thing here. And trim, everything is neutral. We're going to look at the gear switch, make sure that's down. We want to make sure the landing gear is down. Radios are all off. All electrical switches, everything is off. Of course, circuit breakers, same time, you want to make sure those are all in. You don't have one of those like popped up or something. Jumping into page 3, we're going to check the prop's been pulled 9 blades, which it was. Fuel selector, desired tank again. Throttle, we're going to put that to about half. And that's being covered up here, which we can drop that now. So you can see the throttle right there. We're going to put that right about 50%. Where are we here? Prop blade. Okay, full decrease. So this is your prop. Full decrease would mean leave it all the way back. Battery switch is over here. We're going to flip that on so we get some power. We're going to prime 5 strokes. Now if you pull this back and it doesn't make any noise, that means you forgot to open your fuel valve over there. We're going to do 5 of these. Alright, we'll flip that back. Actually, take that back. We're going to leave that because sometimes you got to give her a little prime when you hit the starter. So we did that, and now it's time for the starter. If you get in this thing for the first time and you can't figure out where the start button is like I did, move the stick over and voila, it's actually a pedal on the floor there. So we'll hit that. We're going to make sure parking brake, of course, is on, and that's good. And we're going to hit that baby. Maybe give her a squirt. And pop the magneto. There we go. Pull that throttle back right away. She doesn't want to take off on us. So then we're going to look at our oil pressure, and that is looking real good right now. It's right into the green. Obtained 5 to 600. I do got to pull it back. It is pretty warm here. We're going to lean out right away too so we don't foul the plugs up. Go halfway. And of course the generator is going to be flipped on. And we'll flip on the avionics. Now this thing is capable of having the GTN 650, which is by Flight 1. And we'll click through and pull the GPS up and look at our map here. So it's a lot like the 750, it's just smaller screen basically. I think feature-wise you're pretty much looking at about the same. We'll go ahead and type in KRDD and then we'll hit enter. And there's our waypoint added in, so everything should be good to go there. All of our weather is being controlled by Active Sky, and it is an absolutely gorgeous day out here today. So we should not have too much to worry about with the weather. Jumping on to page 4, we're going to just check here the oil pressure, 40 psi, prop increase. That's the point now where we can do that. And our radios can come on. And pretty much from there on out, you're just going to be going through and checking your indicator, your heading indicator. Make sure you get that set off of your magnetic compass 271, and we're going to set our altimeter. Then we'll be releasing our parking brake, doing a quick test of our brakes on the initial roll, and then going out and getting her run up and ready to go. Alright, we've got our mic open and King Brexit on the other line here, and he's got his Twitch channel over at King Brexit. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm great, mate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this flight. Yes.
All right, I am too, and I've got on my altimeter 3028. Is that what you said you had?
Yes.
And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna announce my taxi. I'm gonna get my helmet on. That's gonna help cut down a little bit of the noise. All right. I've got a habit of killing this thing, so hopefully we don't do that too much.
I've got the same habit. To make sure my mags are working.
I know. I'm sitting a little bit far back here. It's just a gorgeous day. Oh, and here we're gonna roll right past my King Air. Oh, sweet. So there's my King Air that my other pilot flies, and Air Hauler spawns that in for us when we connect. And there it is. I do not have my certification yet to fly that. I'm going to have to work on that. But Brexit, you also have it as well.
Yeah, my my Navajo and my the one that I brought today, well I downloaded today, that's over in Where we're heading.
Oh, nice.
So-
That's where this guy's going to be going. And again, I use that aircraft to simulate. For instance, if I drop an aircraft off somewhere during these air show, but I want to beat another aircraft in another city, that's basically my personal chauffeur. I do not use that guy whatsoever to make money. He never like hauls loads or anything like that. He basically follows me around. He hauls my parts, my oil. We go through a lot of that. And he also, you know, I pay full insurance on that aircraft, fuel, his salary, which is about $15,000 a month, and everything else to keep that aircraft going, so that everything we're doing is as realistic as we can get. So we've been testing JoinFS for actually a while, but we just got it set up for prepared. And the benefit of it over FS Cloud, well, let's just say, what is the benefit of FS Cloud? It's very simplistic, it works, and you can kind of do what you want in there. What is the downside? Like lag or latency, isn't it?
Yeah, the latency is just unreal.
About 15 seconds. And you know, which when you're really flying with people is not that big of a deal. In a game or a simulator like Euro Truck or American Truck, it would be very annoying. In here, you're not really on the ground, and when you're in the air, it's not too bad. But when you want to fly like wingtip to wingtip or get in any kind of a formation or do like takeoffs and landings close to the same time or something, it's very difficult or near impossible to do it in FS Cloud. JoinFS, downside to me is there's really very few people on there, but when you're on here with your buddies, everything is synchronized. I'd say the latency is like 1 second, maybe even less. It's pretty much straight on. All right, we're gonna do the brakes here. We're gonna run this thing up. 2,000. Prop forward all the way. Oh, I got some plugs that are fouled up a little bit. Now we're not going to go full on the mixture because we're already up in altitude. Right is good, left is good, and we're going to cycle our prop. Alright, carb heat is checked. We're going to go ahead and check all of our controls again. Make sure everything is moving. Should be able to see back to those rudder pedals. Or the rudder rather, and using the pedals. And we're going to make sure that our flaps, looks like they're dropping. They're underneath the aircraft, so we can't see them in this one. But our indicator says that they are going down, and now we're going to be bringing them back up again. Hydraulic pressure, everything is right in line with what it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm ready to announce my takeoff, depart north.
Traffic, Papa, Tango, Tango, Romeo, Bravo, taking off, runway 36, departure to the north.
Alright, here we go. And most Texans I notice, I see them at air shows in real life, they keep that canopy open. Even on landing, it's open a lot, but I don't know, I just like to cut that wind noise down. Straps and flaps, everything's good. This thing is not nearly as bad as the P51 as far as taking off. But you do have to give it a little rudder usually. Whoa, 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 whoa. Getting going all wonky here. Oh, why are you kicking over on me? Drunk pilot. There we go. Bring that gear up. There's a little bit of a breeze there.
Yep.
We did all right though. We kept her on the pavement.
I was watching you from above. That's how good JoinFS is.
Yeah.
Just watching you.
Oh yeah, I see you up there now. Wow, that is. We gotta do some close flying.
Yeah.
En route fly. So, okay, so we're good to go with air hauler. Yeah, the nice thing about JoinFS again is the lack of there being really any latency. He's in a Comanche, so we're talking about 250 horsepower. I don't know the weight of that aircraft, but I know this aircraft is 600 horsepower and weighs a lot more. what I can tell you is that the power to weight ratio is very much pretty close to the same on the Comanche as well as this. So even though I've got many times the power he does, I'm like a giant sail going through the air since this is a trainer aircraft. So we're going to be flying about the same speed. You'll have to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got to bring back to about 2,700. Bring my throttle down a little bit, get that manifold pressure down. There we go, we got everything nice and set for a nice fast cruise. And we're flying right over Lake Tahoe. You notice those buildings over there, they were black for a second. That does happen. That's the performance hit that I'm taking by recording and trying to have all this stuff loading in. But this is just very, very, very nice scenery. Lake Tahoe behind us. Look at all those houses. I've been looking at it on Google Earth and it looks just like that. It's just amazing. There's a boat down in the water.
Oh, I see that boat, yeah. That's the Queen.
That's the Queen. The Queen Mary.
Yeah, right. I'm going to lay it back a little bit because...
You're able to kick it down. I'm ahead of you now.
I'm right next to you, dude.
Oh, are you?
I've just got a little bit higher now, but you'll be able to see me out your left
Oh,
hand.
yeah, I see you. Nice. We'll have to get our speed and altitude all set and then try to really bring it in.
Yeah, I'm going to set my head in.
Now, when you watch our videos, I definitely want to give the disclaimer that we're not here to teach anybody on how to be a real-life pilot, because I'm not a real-life pilot. I think it'd be pretty interesting at some point in my life to go down that avenue, but we are definitely in here to have fun and try to do things realistic, but again, also, you know, have fun in here. Our community embraces all kinds of different simulators. We do farming, you know, trucking, hunting. Look at this guy cruising right underneath me. Oh, Brexit, are you gonna make the mountain?
I don't think so.
Oh, buddy. We gotta fly along this mountain here. Get some altitude. Look at that. Just comes right up next to me. That is so awesome. Look at that beautiful Comanche. We gotta make sure we steer clear of each other and don't get the wash.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we're definitely here to try to do things realistic, but we want to have fun too.
Oh, definitely.
So if you want to tear us up in the comments for unrealistic stuff, I do apologize, but there are definitely some simulation channels that are out there to try to help train you to be a real-life pilot. And I do watch some of those channels from time to time, and it's always interesting. And that's what these simulators are for, is to help you learn.
Oh, I'm still learning.
Oh yeah.
100%, like, I've only scratched the surface.
Just reached 12,100. Beautiful Lake Tahoe behind.
Oh, there you are.
Absolutely gorgeous from up here. This one-to-one scale that you have in all the flight simulators, everything from Microsoft Flight Sim, FSW, X-Plane, Prepared, they're all one-to-one. I have a lot of people coming to live streams asking, how big is the map? Well, it's the same size as the world, so everything is realistic and takes you the exact amount of time to get from point A to point B, and that's probably the thing I love most. Is I've always been a geography nut, and I really love being able to go into the simulator and get a pretty accurate, you know, view of what something looks like in real life, and you know how much time it takes to get from one point to another. Yeah, I'm really blazing out here. Then I'm doing 134.
I'm still climbing and thinking my plane's still working itself out. My pitch and stuff is still trying to figure itself out. Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing. This thing's kind of like the Comanche to fly. I mean, it's very simplistic, but sometimes it's a little too simplistic in the fact that you got to be paying attention or it'll get a little bit off, even with the autopilot. set. Oh wow, there's a big highway down there.
Yeah.
Interstate. I'm not sure what one that is. Oh, K-Blue. This airport right off our wingtip. I actually have that in Orbix, which obviously is not supported yet for V4, but that is a really beautiful airport to go land at. Definitely want to go for a flight out there as soon as it's supported. I can see you right ahead of me here. I'm kind of closing in on you.
Yeah.
And you can see the valley off to our left, all the farmland coming up over the last set of hills, and then Redding is down there. It's going to be really warm there today. I think it's 100 and some degrees Fahrenheit. So what are we talking? Celsius in the 40s?
Yep.
All right, pulling up alongside you here in a second. Just maintain your speed and your heading and altitude.
Yeah, I've got mine flat out. I've got all GPS. Oh, so I ain't moving anywhere. Oh, I can hear you. Hear that Rolls Royce engine.
Not in this one. Here we go.
Banking.
Oh! Oh man, that was the crummiest roll.
It looked quite good on my screen.
It looked good on your screen.
I knew exactly what he was going to do. He said, I'll keep your altitude, keep everything. I know exactly what he's going to do.
It's actually quite a bit of fun, that is.
Banking.
Do you know what? Do you know what the crazy thing is? Like, flying in England, where I live,
Uh-huh.
literally, we've probably, in this flight alone, for this hour, we've probably gone from Scotland to the bottom of England.
Yeah.
It shows you how big America actually is.
It's a lot of land here. Maybe you need to go fly Australia, which is close to the same size.
We'll do around the world.
Well, we were starting that with the B-17, and maybe we'll be able to continue it with the, or not continue, but start it over and do the whole thing in the Connie, A2A Connie.
Yes.
That thing's got a lot more speed and range, and of course it has the 650 in it, so.
We've all got the 650. Oh, I can hear that. I can hear that rumble of that engine again. "19 minutes until..."
There we go.
Banking.
Every time I get it upside down here, it starts changing everything on me.
I didn't try the loop yet.
I'd like to do a barrel roll around you, but I was just trying to do a simple aileron roll above you there, and she kind of went all nuts on me. It's hard to do anything at altitude with this thing. It just doesn't have the oomph. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm moving it out to Redding, is because the altitude at the airport is 1,000 feet or less. It's not very high. I think it's actually a few hundred feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, it gives you a lot more room to work with. Out in Kingman, you're sitting at 3,500 feet on the runway.
Elevation is 505 feet.
Yep, just following you in here. It's actually quite a bit of fun not to have to run autopilot or anything, you know, just hand fly it and use you as guidance.
Yeah. Have you not got the 650 in that plane?
Yeah, I've got it. I'm just following you here, let you run the pattern. And it's just incredible to see you like exactly, you know, in the right place at the right time.
Oh yeah. It's great. It is actually amazing.
Now we're starting to really get into view of that farmland.
Yeah.
We're going to be dropping down and coming into view of the airport pretty quick. Love flying over this farm country. Some sandy areas. Going right over the valley. Airport hopefully will be coming into sight here. And I'm going to go ahead and check out my tanks here. They are pretty evened out. You always want to go on whatever one is more full when you come in on final, and well, pretty evened out there. Got a little bit more on the right, so we're going to keep it on right tank. We should come in pretty balanced out. You don't want to come in with one tank full and the other one empty, because it'll make everything a lot more difficult. Be nice if it would use, like the Comanche, it sucks from left and the right.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you can tell how hot it is in this valley. It's almost like there's a fog in the air.
Yeah.
It's a warm one.
Open your window, see how hot it is.
I'm gonna have to here, yeah, in a second.
I've opened my little flap on my Comanche. Right, I got it in sight.
So I'm flying VFR along the highway here, and I don't have it in sight yet. You just got it in sight though. You can start to see the city coming into view ahead of me here.
You're literally right behind me. You're just behind the city, dude. Just behind the city.
How long were we in the air? About an hour and a half?
We was in the air for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Nice little flight.
I'll let you know when I'm clear of the one-way, dude.
Alright.
It seems like we're a good 30 seconds apart anyway, so it should be alright.
Yeah, I've kind of left a little distance between us.
Yeah, I would as well, dude.
Well, now you can start to see the city. Again, once I get my Orbix support, there's the runway lights, I see them. Once we get the Orbix support for Reading, this whole city will be completely redone. And it's going to look very realistic. Alright, I can see I've got one white and a red, it looks like, or two whites and a red. Can't really make them all out from here, but we're right where we need to be. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my gear so that we have enough time to manually crank them if something happens. And it looks like we got 2 greens, so we're good to go. Tail wheel's always down. That's also going to help us slow down a little bit, which we need to do. Once I get slowed down to 120 here, I can go ahead and pop some flaps. Alright, we just hit 120, can let flaps down just a little bit. Stop them right at about 10. Oil pressures, all the gauges are looking good.
Cleared to land. Runway 34.
Alright, we are cleared to land.
Cleared to land.
Got a crosswind, dude, of
Tango Romeo
that knocks you from left to right. That's in vanilla, so yours will not be like that, but
Well, it should be pretty close. A little bit low for what they want here, so beautiful view coming in though. I'm glad that this flight is over. I need to get out and stretch my legs.
yeah, same.
Kind of coming in a little bit slower than I normally do. I usually try to hold her about 100.
Yeah, clear.
For a 2-wheel landing, you want to go about 90, and 65 would be a 3-point, which is desirable. always get the heart pumping a little bit. It's always exciting to land these tail draggers, these old warbirds. I actually have a little bit more of a hard time with this one over the Mustang. The Mustang is a wild horse trying to take off. Alright, we're coming in here looking good. Pop that open. Dropping our flaps. I'm up a little bit high here, but I really don't like having my canopy open for the noise, and it also, I find it so distracting. All right, we are coming in. Got plenty of runway, so trying to get on center here. I'm a little bit off. A little bit of rudder will fix that.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, a little 3-point there. Oh, I got an okay. This thing has a real tendency to spin. I can't make that. I do not want to nose over, so unfortunately, let's see, we need to go over here. Bring that mixture back just a little bit.
Tango Romeo Bravo. Contact ground on 121.7.
All right. Get this pulled back up here. I'm coming to a stop here. I just don't want to flip over.
1.7.
And we're going to request to parking.
Ready ground. Papa Tango Tango Romeo Bravo. Request taxi to parking. Papa Tango Tango Romeo Bravo. Taxi to general aviation parking. Taxiing to general aviation parking. Tango Romeo Bravo.
Turn off our strobes and pedo. And now we get to taxi down to parking here. I seem to have lost you.
I'm down. Keep going that way. Is that you? Are you? Can you? If you see the fuel box, I'm right next to there.
Yeah, my fuel box is going to be different from yours. This is actually a pretty detailed airport already, and it's just going to get even better once they have support for the Orbix pack there. Kind of kicking back and forth so I don't hit anything.
You see me yet?
Am I coming towards you?
Yep. I think.
I wonder if you're on the other side of this big plane. Big old jet. Oh, there you are. You're hiding over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really close to a building, so I'm just gonna putt over to you.
Yeah. I'll open my door.
Yeah, you're already all relaxed.
Yeah, I'm opening my door. Let me push my seat back.
I won't be in a parking spot here, but, well, I could take this one.
You take that one. Got my door open. I got a little chat to you.
See, on mine, my parking spot is right here. I'm actually in the parking right here.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this mixture back. And we are here. We made it.
Yeah.
And since we don't know how long it'll be till we run it again, we're going to throw on the tie downs, wheel chocks, oil clean kit, and pitot cover. We got all those put back on. Checking in with the mechanic, he was pleased with our handling of the aircraft, and we're running smooth here. No damage, of course. Nice landing. Yeah, it was great flying with you today.
Yep, thank you very much. Great flying with you.
Alright folks, well now we can go into our air hauler and finish flight monitoring. Got an okay landing performance. I think it's because we maybe touched the tail wheel before the other wheels, but it was a 3-point landing, so whatever, I don't get too offended by it. It was a good landing. So there you have it. T6 is in KRDD, Redding, California. We'll get our other pilot to fly along with us here. He's going to be picking me up and zipping me north up here to Friday Harbor, which is where we left our Comanche on the live stream on Twitch back in May. So probably within the next few days to a week, we're going to be continuing that flight after so many months and flying all the way up to do our Alaska trip. So make sure you're joining us over there on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/GunninGamerz. Join our Discord, our TeamSpeak, our Steam group. We've got all the links down below. We'd love to have a chat with you, get to know you. Come fly along with us on FS Cloud and join FS. Make sure you leave us a comment in the comment section down below. Hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, take care.